Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to work on a Murray lawnmower. Like a lot of you, when I'm out and about in the morning, I'll watch for curb treasures. Lawnmowers or weed eaters are things that people decided they no longer wanted or couldn't get started, and they leave out by the trash. This one's sort of a curb treasure, but it was my curb. I was backing my car out of the garage a couple days ago, and just there it was at the garage door. If I hadn't had a backup camera, I never would have noticed it, and I probably would have run it over. It's a little bit dirty, but when you look close, it looks like there might be something good underneath it. So let's open her up and see what we've got. Okay, we've done plenty of tugging on the cord and trying to get it to start up easy, and that's just not happening. But now we're going to go ahead and drain the gas out because we threw a carburetor on it and we thought we'd gotten all the gas, but she's not starting. And if you throw starter fluid straight in it, she does start. So I have a feeling what happened was we didn't get 100% of the gas out of the tank, and there's still a little junk left in the bottom. That means we're going to have to pull the carb off again and clean it, pull the bowl and clean it up, and take the gas tank off and clean it and make sure it's completely empty this time before we do anything. So let's get started. The back ones don't come off real easy on this one, so we're just going to hold it up and pull that one screw out. This is a good looking mower. I'm sure she'll fetch a pretty fair price once I get her running right. And once you discover the hidden bolt under this cover, it's pretty easy to take the top off. And there's our gas tank. So I don't think I've ever successfully done this without spilling gas just all over creation. So I've reached a point in life where it's not about not spilling gas, it's about not spilling too much gas. Now, I don't want to dump this straight into the gas tank because I don't know if there's any junk in it. So we're going to do it just a little bit at a time once we get the tank off. So we'll pinch this line with our handy vice grips. Quick release air cleaner. So here's where we're going to start spilling gas. Not a drop this time. Now we're going to put our cup over our gas tank and drain into that. And if we approve of the gas, then we'll use it someplace else. When you do this, you can't just pour it in. You have to pour it in and let it settle for a moment, because any water will find its way to the bottom and the fuel will find its way to the top. Now, if you're brave enough, you could reuse the fuel on the top. But the gas and the water will mix together just a little bit. Okay, it's just about full, so let's stop. Now, if you look at the gas, that doesn't look good at all. It's got a milky color to it. And that's not what you're looking for. So I'm sure once it sits for a minute, we're going to see something different. Pause. Okay, now that it's been sitting a little while, Let's stir it a little and see if we can see anything. You can see it looks a little bit clearer. I'm sure in speed motion it'll look a little more obvious. Now if you look at the bottom, you can see that there's something stirring up in there. Yep, that's pretty bad. But that's okay, we're cleaning out the tank right now anyway. So let's get back to that. Okay, now I went ahead and cleaned out the tank. I did that by putting tank cleaner in it and then shaking it around quite a bit. And then when I was done, I emptied it out really good and think I got all of it. So I went ahead and put just about 3 ounces of gas in and then held all the holes covered, shook it up again, emptied that out, put about 3 ounces of gas in, shook it around, emptied that out. And when I look inside the tank now with the light, it looks pretty good. So now we know we've got the tank completely free of any garbage because it looked really bad, the stuff that came out of it. So now we're going to go ahead and pull the carb out and clean the bowl out and make sure that it's ready to go. Now in this particular motor, especially when the lid's off, pulling the carburetor off is easy peasy. Unless you throw your sockets around, then it's not so easy peasy. But there's 2 separate sockets to use here. One for the 2 outside bolts, the bolts that hold up on the frame. And those come off with a 5/16. And then we're going to go down a size. Can't quite read that one. They're hard to read when the sockets get so little. We'll find it. We're going to go ahead and pull the other 2 nuts off. Now when you got the gas line disconnected, this carburetor comes off easy peasy. Now we're going to take a look in here and see what it looks like inside. Make sure we didn't leave any extra junk behind. So, got an automatic closing garage door, and it was automatically closing. Okay, guys, let's get back to this. Now, since we got all the stuff out of the gas tank and we know that's nice and clean, we want to make sure that we didn't leave anything in the carburetor to make life miserable. And that doesn't look super great. I'm going to blow in here and make sure that it's cleared out. And it is. So we'll go ahead and wipe this down and put her back together. Okay, now we don't have to worry about anything in the gas tank itself. So where were we? And be careful when you put this back together, because you've got your float right here, which goes in a little hole. I'm sorry, your jets go in this little hole here in the bottom of the carb. So that's the way you want to put it together. You probably put it together wrong, but I'm about 90% sure she'd hang up on you and tear things up. And don't go too tight on these bolts. It's plastic and it's super easy to strip it and kill it. We'll put our linkage on first. Again, this is one of those pain in the necks with no idle adjustment or anything of that sort. Go ahead and slip her on. And whenever you're doing a carburetor like this, I always say take pictures first. This one is easy peasy. Let's take that off and put that on the carburetor. It'd probably slip straight on the engine pretty easily, but there you go. And on she goes. Now we'll reattach our gas tank. That clicked into place nicely. Go ahead and attach our gas line. At least I think we are. Having one of those uncoordinated Sunday mornings. There we go. That looks good. Now we put our air filter back on and we're done. And you'll find this is a ton easier to do with this cover off. And to get the gas tank off, you have to take the cover off anyway. Let's see if we can figure out what this is. I want to say it's a quarter. Okay. And the two smaller screws go in the plastic of the carburetor itself. As I was saying, the two smaller screws go in the plastic of the carburetor itself. And when I say smaller, I'm referring to the size of the head, because they're about the same length as the others. And the two larger screws are actually going on the steel bracket. Now from here, I expect good things. This thing's going to start up and it's going to run like a champ. Oh, that was an adventure. Let's go ahead and put some fuel in it and see what we've got. Okay, now that we've got that all taken care of and got all that old fuel out, let's go ahead and put her back together and see what we've got. I'm expecting good things from this one. That is one good sounding motor. Okay, well, it's time for her to go up for sale. She's got one little thing left to do. She started out pretty dirty, so I want to make sure she's really clean since I did spend the time cleaning it.